everybody, my name is Brett Gui Xin. I'm an artist based here in Brooklyn, New York. Welcome to my home studio that's been set up for quarantine. So today I'd like to demonstrate for you my Wolverine Claw. So this is a tool that I've made that's part of an exhibition right now at Special, a gallery in the East Village in New York City, Manhattan. So let's get into it. The Wolverine Claw is a tool that I've developed to help me cut plastic bags down into workable yarn. So a lot of my work is textile based and uses traditional textile making techniques, but uses a lot of plastic instead of traditional yarns. So as a way to process the material that I collect in the form of, plastic bags, like so, I developed the Wolverine Claw. So it's 20 razor blades on a threaded dowel that's then set into this wooden handle frame, and I'm able to hold onto it and pull through the plastic to get evenly cut yarn. So I'm going to demonstrate now how I get there and then what I do with it once it's cut. So we start with a regular plastic bag, and I take my scissors and cut off the handles and then the bottom seam here. So a large part of my practice is based around sustainability, and that's what led me to start using plastic in the first place. And don't worry, we're not going to throw these handles and this bottom seam away. We're going to keep them for later and find something cool to do with them. So I really try to use as much of my materials as possible. So now I'm going to flatten out my bag. Here you can see that, my arm can go all the way through it. So I'm going to make it as flat as possible on my table. And take my piece of tape and secure it like so to my tabletop. And now I take the claw and make sure that the blades are facing in the right direction. I line it up with the top here, and then I'm going to use a firm, even pressure to pull my Wolverine Claw through the plastic. So I'm going to do so slowly and purposefully to get these nicely cut pieces of plastic that I can now use as yarn. And then I'm going, so the claw's not quite wide enough for this particular bag, so I'm going to go in and do a second pull and press firmly. And there we go. Set that down. You want to be careful. It's got a lot of blades, so careful where you put it. It's not something you want to leave on the floor. You know what I'm saying? But there we go. Sometimes it misses a spot, but no matter, we can just go in with our scissors later and clean it up. There we go, separating all of our pieces. Look at that, beautiful. Beautiful. So my strips are about a 1/4 inch. With the claw, it's on a piece of threaded bar, so I can take the blades off and reposition them. Say if I wanted to get a wider or thinner cut, but I like the 1/4 inch. I think it works pretty well for my purposes. So now I'm going to pull this up. And you can see we've got our fringe. So just for the sake of time in this demo, I'm going to cut a piece off here, and we'll save this for later. But so now you'll remember that we left 1 inch on the top, which was turned into 2 inches because it was on the fold. And we have this kind of spine holding all of our yarn together still. So what we're going to do is cut on the spine on the diagonal like this, joining up the cuts to create one long piece of yarn. So to begin, I'm going to cut diagonally off the edge, and that will give us our first end. And then I'll cut from one fringe to the other, going diagonal. And that will create our fun yarn that we can then use to do all kinds of stuff with. And this is a technique that you could use with fabric as well, or like any material really that can go into a circle and then be cut on a spiral. Anywhere that it's still connected, don't worry about it, you can just pull it apart. But I'll take my end now and just wrap it around my hand, which helps keep our yarns organized and put together, because the last thing we want to do is be spending all of our time untangling yarn when we could be making something cool. So here we are, and then I'll take the end and just wrap it around for safekeeping and put one knot in like so, and we've got our little bundle. And then as you can see here, we've got all my other colors from all of my other plastic bags. Delicious, like a bowl of candy. So that is what I use the Wolverine Claw for, to help make yarn. And then with the yarn, and a different tool that I use is the Knit Magic machine. So this is a tool that rotates like so, and I can feed the yarn into it and make a plastic tube like this. And you know, it's something that you can control and make like a lot of different stripes and do in different colors, and then you can make them as long as possible. So like this one here, this is part of my Snake Light series, and it's about, I'm trying to think, it's about 20 feet long. There's a long tail that goes around the floor that you can't quite see, and it goes up to the ceiling here. Yeah, and then I've made ones that are like 100 feet, and this one was just a little short one for a demo. But I can also show you this other Snake Light that I have, and this is a portable edition. So this was like a party noodle So I used all of the scraps that I cut off from before and was able to make this fun kind of rainbow one that's a little bit hairy from all the knots of tying it. But it's flexible, it's portable, it connects to this portable battery, so you know, you could take it to the park and use it as a nightlight. You could, you know, use it as a lightsaber, I suppose. Or it could just be a good tabletop object to keep you company while you're, you know, studying or reading, whatever. Wear it as a hat. So many great uses. The possibilities are endless. So now I'd like to show you my frame loom. This is the most basic of the looms available. So you can just simply string the warp and then take your needle tool and, you know, just go over, under to create a flat plain weave here. And I'm using two contrasting bags, but so it looks like that. I guess I can do one for you standing up. It's very simple, and then from here, you know, you can go on and do all kinds of different techniques and use all sorts of colors. So I have a few examples to show you of all things that I've done using this loom. So this is a more open weave with some really bright colors. It's very flexible. And then this is a tighter weave, just with black and white. But you know, you can use it essentially as fabric. If I were to use a bigger loom, obviously I'd get a larger piece and then I could turn that into something else. This is a stitching style called sumac, so you get a little bit more volume and a slightly different stitch. But these are all different ways to create with your plarn. And this is all what has come out of using my Wolverine Claw. So I hope you enjoyed this demo, and you know, keep making tools. Thank you.